All right, we're back and we're going to talk about the a part that's usually kind of confusing to people. I know you haven't done a ton with the loop, but it basically we're going to start making the content within this page area dynamic so that we can update a WordPress page, and when we view that page, it's going to show that content. So let's go to the WordPress theme, which I guess I've got pulled down here. So FP. So go to your WordPress theme that you've created following along with this. And let's go to some pages and take a look at them. Right now we have new page. Let's just view that and see what that looks like. Okay, so we've got this. This is exactly what we put in the index PHP. Let's look at sample page. If you don't have two pages, go ahead and create a separate one. Create a new page and look at it. It doesn't make any difference. Here's a sample page. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they're both exactly the same.
Exactly the same because we have the content set statically right now. So what we want to do is let's go into new page here and let's put in some content. This, you put whatever you want here. This is the content of my new page. So what's happening here is this is calling index PHP and outputting all that content. The good thing is it's outputting a header and a footer successfully.
Right.
But the content needs to be dynamically pulling from this page. So let's get that happening. The first thing we have to do is we have to put in the loop. I'm going to read you directly from the WordPress Codex what the loop says. And actually, John, go ahead and read it, and then I'll maybe add some if I can clarify a little bit. Is it too far away for you to read?
Nope. The loop is PHP code used by WordPress to display post. Using the loop, WordPress processes each post to be displayed on the current page and formats it according to how much it matches specific criteria within the loop tags. Any HTML or PHP code inside the loop will be processed on each post.
Let me stop here. When WordPress is talking, or when the Codex is talking about posts, just for the sake of semantics, a page is also considered a type of post.
Right.
I mean, they're the same thing. They're not exactly interchangeable, but they're very similar and they do the same types of things. Both of them do require the loop to pull dynamic content. So continue.
Okay. When WordPress documentation says this tag must be within the loop, such as for specific template tags or plugins, the tag will be repeated for each post. For example, the loop displays the following information by default for each post, and that is the title, the time, and the category.
Okay, so let's visualize this. So when you have a loop, basically what's going to happen is on your blog listing page, and this is assuming we have a blog, which we're not on this site, but you have a blog page, and you see on a blog how it has multiple posts. It has 5 posts in a row or 10 posts. Maybe they're but they all have a title and then content at least. So the title is that right there. It also, WordPress would include the time, like posted on January 4th, whatever.
Right.
So it would do that every single time for each post that exists. It'll post one of those. Right. That's the basic functionality of the loop. That's what the loop allows us to do. We're going to study it more in depth, but for now we're just using it to get out one page specifically. So let's scroll down here. So using the loop should be placed in index PHP and any other template files used to display post information. That's exactly what we're going to do. So here are the examples of the loop and what it will look like. The loop starts here and ends here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this content. And actually, they have it all put together right here. It's written a little differently. This is using PHP's alternative syntax for control structures. But let's copy this and go to our index.php. And right after the header, we're going to paste that. And then this is the end of the loop right here. We're going to paste that as well. You don't have to know what all this means. The basic gist of it, if you look at the PHP code here, if a person has post, if you've written post, while you have those posts, for every post that there is, basically, get the content of the post.
Right.
Preload it. You're not outputting anything yet. So if we put this in here, and for now, we can get this easily later. I'm going to delete all of this. Should we just comment it out or delete it?
I think we'll just copy it and delete it right now.
Yeah. So we're going to delete all that content, and actually, let's go ahead and put it in a new page, just so it's there. Let's call this homepage. Use the text editor when you paste this in, guys. We're just going to paste in the HTML exactly here. Okay? Go ahead and publish that. We don't need to do anything else with it. We're just saving it on the side for now. So here's our index.php template, and it says if have post, while have post, the post.
So basically what it's saying here is that now we have content that we've put in there, and it's going to call that content a post, right? So if we have content in there, while we have content, get the content.
Yes, and so what this does is I copy and paste this all the time from the WordPress or from prior themes that you've made.
Right.
So this is something you don't have to remember exactly. It's good to learn and understand what's happening here. But for now, between these, the if have post, while have post, the post, and the end while and end if here, that's where you're going to tell it what it needs to output. Because right now it's just saying load this information so it's ready for use. It's not outputting anything. So the most basic, what we can do is we can just say put some content here. Okay, so put in some random content there, save the changes, and let's see what happens. So the content is actually coming out on the page. So it's doing something there inside of that loop. But the loop isn't, it's on a single page, it's only outputting the single page. But what we want it to do is to output the specific page content. And the way we do that is with a code snippet from PHP. So let's open our PHP tag and close it. Go ahead and do just that what I did. And we're going to type in the content. Pretty straightforward, right?
So basically that means that if it has post, while it has the post, it's going to get the post. So it's going to get the content. But then we're going to output PHP the content. That's actually a statement saying display the content.
Yes, just like we're getting the header. We get the header and output that information. We get the footer and output that information. We're also going to get the content
after this
and
section.
output the content.
Do an overview
Right, so
of this.
in this case, that is we have a header now,
we'll
we
talk
have a
in
body,
that last
and we
video,
have a
and
footer.
hopefully
The
this has been
content being
helpful.
the body.
Yeah,
Exactly.
enjoy working in WordPress.
So let's refresh this. And this should put out our new page content, which it does. This is the content of my new page. Obviously, it doesn't look right. What needs to happen on this?
That's a good question. Let's go back into the page and look at new page.
At new page? Okay.
See, you made a page called home page, and that's not the one we're looking at right now.
No.
Okay.
You're right. Let's look at the home page and see if that looks right now, because we've pulled the content. Well, there you go.
Right.
The home page is exactly right. That is dynamically pulling content from WordPress.
Right.
Step one complete. So the other thing I'm showing you, which is this new page, all that's happening here is there's no container around this element.
Right.
That's a simple CSS or HTML issue, which we can fix on the specific page template, but that's not super important. You're right. So the home page is pulling the content that we put in here. Let's just check with sample page and make sure that it's outputting. This is an example page. It's different from a blog post because blah, blah, blah. Let's view the page. Exactly right.
So now everything that we're putting in our WYSIWYG editor is now being displayed on the page as the content.
Yep. So we're going to make this formatted a little bit more nicely to make the pages a little more dynamic, but let's leave that for the next lesson. For now, we have a header that's dynamic, that's set up as a header PHP. We have an index PHP, which is currently calling our content from each individual page, and we have a footer PHP, which outputs the same footer to every single page. So we're getting pretty close. Let's call that a lesson, and we'll move on after this. What do you think?